it has been a mutually collaborative effort. It works for both of us. So we are happy to offer him this platform where we can spread more knowledge about topics such as these, which are very, very, very important for India's path towards the Viksit Bharat. So we have our moderator for today, Mr. Vishwanath Pandey from Total Hospitality International, Hyderabad. I'd like him on stage. Welcome, Mr. Pandey. Then we have Mr. Shravan Kumar from Excellence Hospitality Private Limited, Hyderabad. Welcome, Mr. Shravan Kumar. He's quite a familiar face at our expos. Once again, welcome to him. Mr. Aditya Singh Jalla, who is a Gauranga Hospitality from Ahmedabad. So we have quite a pan-India representation here, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad. We have Mr. Pramod Paleri from S&P Associates, Bangalore. And last but not the least, we have Mr. Rajneesh Gandhi, Chefs at Work Hospitality Consultant, Bangalore. Welcome to all of y'all, and I hope you all have a very insightful discussion. Over to you, Mr. Pandey. I'll make sure that the noise next door is kept to the bare minimum.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. Today we have a very interesting session that we're going to have. This is on a topic that's unusual. You will find topics on kitchen design. You will find topics on, how efficiency can be increased. But today we are going to talk about how energy plays a role in the kitchen. So how conservation can happen, how energy plays a role in the kitchen. Today we have some eminent panelists here. We have Mr. Shravan Kumar from Hyderabad. We have Aditya Singh Jala. We have Pramod Paleri from Bangalore, correct? And we have Chef Rajneesh. So with so much of experience that you see on the stage today, I would first request all of them to introduce themselves. Before that, I would like to thank World of Hospitality for allowing us to be knowledge partners here. And a small brief about FSCAI. FSCAI is a Food Service Consultant Association of India. We not only share knowledge within ourselves, we not only enhance the quality of work that we are doing, but also we use such platforms to address people and spread the knowledge that we have gained through the experiences that we have had. So I would request Pramodji to start off with a small brief. We'll keep it crisp so that people understand and know what the strength of each panelist is. Thank you. Pramodji.
The designing of energy efficient kitchen, mainly everybody thinks only the electrical power. There are so many things involved in designing. Okay, and electrical power is the...
Please introduce yourself, then I'll come with it.
I'm Pramod Paleri. My company name is S&P Associate, based in Bangalore. We design resorts, hotels, and industrial canteens, hospitals, sports complexes, and hospitality connection things. Yeah.
I think he's been there in the industry for the last 30 years. Shravanji.
Good afternoon. Shravan Kumar from Excellence Hospitality, Hyderabad. We are into food service kitchen design. We are also into back of the house and facility planning for all kinds of hospitality projects. We have a footprint of projects across India.
Thank you. Can we have a round of applause for our president? He is the president of FSCA also.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Aditya. I come from a company called Gauranga Hospitality. We're based out of Ahmedabad, and we do a lot of facility planning for projects in India and outside. So we've done a lot of hotels. We've done projects like Taj, we've done the Marriotts, we've done Sayaji, we've done Prides, and we also specialize in kitchens in ships and submarines, and we're also doing a lot of hospitals. So that's just about me.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chef Rajneesh Gandhi. My company name is Chefs at Work, and having an experience of 42 years plus. And I'm Basically, we deal in all kind of hospitality projects where we give the back-end solutions from menu designing to opening of the place. We are also into ready-to-eat product line, which is for making the base gravies and all for these hotels and restaurants where they are having some challenges about the chefs. And also have one small cafe called Papu Chai Wala, based out of Bangalore, and we have a couple of outlets in Calcutta.
It's an international chain now. You have outlets abroad also. A big round of applause for Rajneesh ji.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So now, before we start talking on this topic, I would like to ask our panelists to give a brief on what basically is the discussion going to be on. Is energy just relevant to power, or is it more? So, Pramodji.
Yeah, power is the main part, but again you have so many other things like gas and as well as water. And if you use water very carefully, again you are saving your energy. You have to pump the water, and as well as the power you are using, power also there. But this is a hidden area. Same as HVAC, all these things comes in there.
Thank you. Would you want to?
If we go back, we had incandescent lights, or what we call the bulbs, at some point of a time. And they all have been replaced by what we now have as CFL, compact fluorescent lights. And then further improvement is also happening. And if anybody is wondering that CFL has become a success because of technology, you're wrong. CFL had become a success because it saved money. It consumed less electricity and it gave more brightness or incandescence or luminosity, whatever you call it. So anything that we're talking about, if you're talking about energy efficiency, at the end of the day, it should lead towards saving of money. That is the bottom line. So anything that goes into energy, it can be electricity, it can be water, it can be cooking medium, it can be LPG, anything, it can be CNG, it can be firewood, it can be coal or whatever. So all these elements constitute energy, and where you use them efficiently, leading towards saving of money. That's what is energy efficiency in my perception.
Thank you, Shravanji. So I'll put the first question to you, Shravanji. Now that you do a lot of large kitchens, you do a lot of central kitchens other than hotels, resorts and restaurants, what are the equipments that you see are high energy usage equipments, and how we can curtail or get better energy efficiency out of that?
Okay, there are multiple angles to this question. First, let's understand where does energy inefficiency come from. Before we talk about energy efficiency, let's understand what we mean by energy inefficiency. Why are we talking about it? There are three reasons. One is improper design. The second is improper usage. Third is the capacity mismatch. These are the three primary reasons which will lead towards wastage or inefficiency of energy. I'll take half a minute on each one of them. When you say an improper design, if there is a mismatch between the equipment layout or the general arrangement or the kind of equipment that you're using in context of what is your eventual output, then there is an improper design. The second is an improper usage. Improper usage is that, let us say you have a very basic usage or a very basic requirement of steaming dosas. Now, since you said you referred about central kitchens, let us say you want to take out 1,000 dosas. There are multiple ways of doing it. If you are using a combi oven which is costing you 20 lakhs of rupees as against a custom designed steamer unit which might cost you something like 3 lakhs of rupees, then we are talking about that is an improper usage. Because a combi oven can do idlis also, but it doesn't mean that you use a combi oven if your requirement is only idlis. Don't do that. Then you find better ways and better means of that. Say a combi oven, a 20 tray, let's say it's consuming about 30 kilowatts of energy. The same kind of output you can get in a steamer which might consume something like 6 kilowatts of energy. So the capex is reduced, operating cost is reduced. So that I am talking about improper usage. Third, we are talking about a capacity mismatch. Capacity mismatch is where mostly energy inefficiency will arise. Now again, let me take out, let's say you have a college. You have a college, a dining hall with about 1,000 students. And in a warewashing section, you install a conveyor dishwash machine. But then when a college is in vacation, instead of 1,000 people, there are only 50 people who are eating in the dining hall or a cafeteria, whatever we call it. That's people who basically reside on the campus. For 1,000 people, it makes sense using a conveyor dishwasher, which without a heat recovery system might consume something like 32 kilowatts of energy. In comparison to only 50 people, it does not make sense to operate a conveyor dishwasher system rather than going for a simple 3-sink manual dishwasher system. That's what I call a capacity mismatch. So when you take care of these 3 points, then at the planning stage itself, you can bring about an energy optimization. So that's my take on that. And
Yeah, good enough. Thank you.
Yeah.
So now, Pramodji, my question to you is, while you design kitchens, what are the commercial kitchens? What are the areas that you look at that you need to consider while designing to have better energy efficiency and better operating cost?
The first thing what we have to think about, zone-wise cooking. Each areas, separate. And if it is the breakfast, lunch, dinner, that would you make it separate. So you can reduce the HVAC expenditure, water expenditure, all these things. The next one is the main thing is the water. Whatever is the low pressure faucets, what we'll use for that. So everywhere you go, the main dishwashing, people think, high pressure washing. It's actually you're wasting your water as well as your pumping is going. Every time you have to pump the water up, again it's your power is going. Like Shravanji said, the money. Of course, that money is there. Behind everything is money is there. So wherever we design, we always concentrate on, star category equipments and like equipments like induction, so reduce the cooking time is faster. Even though initially even the investment is more, but you are saving money on all other items.
Interesting, thank you. So now, Aditya ji, do you think you have seen equipments that have any kind of star rating or things like that?
So in India, star rating is still not come to the level it needs to come, like in other parts of the world. In other parts of the world, you have B ratings, you have star ratings, etc. In India, we need to start getting those ratings inside our kitchens. As of now, if you ask me, can you name 5 or 6 equipment with star rating? It's impossible. It's very rare. There's no, for commercial kitchen equipment, there's no body which does that. As a result of which, when we specify equipment, we don't have a benchmark for specifying the same. So it's very difficult for us as consultants to tell you that this is highly efficient, this machine is more efficient than the other one, and vis-a-vis when you do stuff like that. However, like what the panelists have said, the best form of cooking in India, in fact around the world, is induction based. People think that induction based cooking is more expensive. It is not so. It is the most efficient way of cooking, the fastest efficient way of cooking, and it also reduces the CFM, your cubic feet per minute. So your ducting size reduces, your HVAC load reduces, so there's a lot of saving in all of that.
So one more question to you is, what are the key challenges that commercial kitchens face while implementing energy efficient practices?
So commercial kitchens are typically have a high demand because of cooking equipment and of course ventilation. Ventilation is one of the biggest power guzzlers in any kitchen. Now, the reason why it's a big guzzler is because CFM, your cubic feet per minute, the suction capacity is not specified correctly. So sometimes when you go into a normal kitchen, your eye starts smarting, eye starts watering, or you start getting carbon dioxide deposits on the ceiling. It is all because of this. And once that happens is your scrubbers are not in the same inline to your exhaust capacity, your equipment efficiency. Like I said, upgrade. Lot of people, what they do is they do not upgrade equipments after next amount of time. You know. So, for example, like I think the panelists were speaking, we had incandescent lights. Now we have LED lights. So, a lot of kitchens don't even go in for refurbishments every 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, and they, rely on the oldest possible equipment, and which is not correct. At one time, every manufacturer, and I think it should be a manufacturer rule, that as in when you start, designing equipment, you have to make it more efficient. And as owners or as consultants, we have to start specifying more efficient equipment. Kitchen design is a very complex process. And based on the design, we actually understand how kitchens are designed, which part you need induction, which part you need gas, which part you need steam. So there's a permutation for everything which is required. It's not a one, size fits all syndrome. You have to be very specific in design, and you have to be very specific in understanding the client. As consultants, a lot of time we sometimes may not understand client requirements. Sometimes the client is not bothered about capex. He may be more concerned about OPEX. But as consultants, we are more concerned about OPEX. I mean, capex. Higher the capex, lesser the OPEX. But a lot of people don't understand all of that. The other thing which is very, very important is your ventilation requirement, which we've also spoke about. What happens is you have demand ventilation hoods. Based on CFM, it automatically regulates the suction capacity. So it's a variable drive. Like, for example, if my tandoors are on, which is one of the most inefficient equipment, the variable drives are on the highest level. And if a burner is on, it's lower. So you can match your CFM capacity. That's another thing. Water usage, which I think has already been spoken about. You have LPMs, liters per minute. That's a very big problem which we have. We put highly inefficient water faucets and we lose a lot of money. So we have to make sure that is correct. Behavioral change. A lot of people don't understand that HLP, heating, lighting, power, is a very integral part of any P&L statement in a hotel. And people are oblivious to the fact that this is one of the only things which can be tracked and which can be controlled. You cannot control PTR, which is payroll taxes, employee related. You cannot control food costs, but you can control your HLP to a high degree. So that is why designing kitchens correctly is very, very important. I think that's about it.
Thank you. That was quite informative. Now, Chef Rajneesh, you have been operating not only in India, but you have been doing work abroad. And you have been very closely working with, the staff. So, what role does, kitchen staff training and any change in achieving, so their behavioral changes, what can be done to achieve better energy efficiency?
As we speak about manpower, staffing, first of all, it's like when we speak to our clients about using the equipments which are much more energy efficient, and that is where it comes along with the cost in India. And a lot of clients, sometimes they're very happy to go ahead because it reduces down on their cost. And when it comes to the training part, today with the manpower, the new younger generation, they are more than happy to work and learn these new equipments which helps in reducing down on the energy, and these are very, very good equipments. But unfortunately, we have some of the staff which are little older in generation, so they are they feel little difficult to adjust to the new environment. So for them, keeping a gas on means it's normal. So we have to make sure, we have to keep on training them that it's not necessary that you have to keep your gas on. Even the pilot also, you can switch it off. If there's no business or operation, you can just use it. So there's a lot of training goes behind to make them understand. Like we are moving from a lot of 3 sink washing to the dishwashers, where we have to explain to our clients that, you reduce on your water. Now with a lot of new equipments which are coming, they are also working towards reducing down on the cleaning purpose. So it's not only the water, but the chemicals which are going inside while cleaning. So things are moving in that direction in today's time, but it's only the education factor. And I guess means we should have this kind of a small topic in all IHM, that how they should be able to help in reducing on the energy. That's the way I look at.
Yeah, good. Thank you, thank you. So now Aditya ji, from whatever Chef Rajneesh has said, so do you think, are there any innovative technologies, like you mentioned about the controlled heat demand, and or any design strategies that you think can significantly improve energy efficiency in a commercial kitchen?
There are a few, and luckily so. I think it's over the years, in the coming years, it's only going to get better. The first one is what we spoke about, is energy efficient appliances. India, though, does not have it for commercial kitchens, but a lot of foreign equipment, your combi ovens, your dishwashers, have a small form of energy rating. So we have to ensure that the energy rating on that is absolutely correct, and that's what we should be specifying. Again, induction cooking is the future. And I think everybody needs to move to induction cooking. Fossil fuels are going to be out in the next few years. And if we don't move to induction, we are making big disservice to our nation if we don't move to induction. Heat recovery system. Heat recovery from ventilation, etc., can be used to heat laundry systems, dryers, etc. So that's another way of actually doing it. There's something known as energy management system, or EMS. EMS is something which is still in an infancy in this country, but I think as we keep moving forward, EMS is going to become very, very large. EMS is nothing but like every hotel has something known as a morning meeting. In the morning meetings, you have data on how much water was consumed, how much gas was consumed, how much electricity was consumed. So all of that is managed from the EMS system. So much so that your variable air conditioning, your variable devices, all of that can be managed from one particular room or from your iPad. And that's going to be the future in the next few years. So that is something which we need to adopt. I think chefs have already spoken about LED lighting. I think that's something which is wonderful, and we need to all change on that. We need to ensure that all our lights are LED based. Also, we need to ensure the lights are started at a particular time and switched off at a particular time. They can be motion detected, or motion sensors or stuff like that. And one of the most important thing is smart kitchen design. So we spend hours and hours studying on kitchen designing. That's all what we do in our lives. We don't do anything else. The way I design a kitchen and way I think all of us design our kitchen is slightly different. But the fundamental has to be the same. It has to be energy efficient. It has to be for the future. And it has to last us for the next 20, 25 years. And if we don't do that, we are again doing a disservice to our clients. The other things is water saving devices. We've spoken thermal insulation. A lot of walls are on different. If you have an east-facing wall, our thermal insulation is bad. So we have to ensure that the thermal insulation for our walls, for our kitchens, is correct. We need to put heat inductive paint, which actually reflects heat. That is one way. You have to put thermal insulation between your walls so your kitchens are cool. And that same does not transfer to your restaurants, because a lot of people see that if you look at any five-star hotel, you see a live kitchen. And a live kitchen, if you touch it, is hot. Correct? It should not be hot. 90% of people don't do thermal insulation or sound insulation. So these are mistakes in design which we have to guide the architects in ensuring that. Renewable energy integration, another very, very important thing. Most hotels have solar panels on top. They can go for wind power solutions, etc. So again, the HLP cost can come down and the profits can go up. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Shravanji, what do you think are the financial benefits or return on investment if somebody wants to go in for an energy efficient kitchen?
This calls for a mathematical calculation. We need to understand, let us say in a retrofit. Currently we're working in institutional design. I was showing some photographs to some of you today afternoon. A medical college with 1,500 students today in 2024 is operating a central kitchen where a steam generating boiler is still operated in the firewood. Now, the only factor they understood is that firewood is cheaper as a fuel, but then they failed to notice what are the consequential costs in terms of the carbon accumulation in the exhaust duct, defacing of the entire building, low calorific value, and so on and so forth. So we're working now on throwing out that steam generator and we're getting it more energy efficient steam generating boiler. Now we had to justify to the clients what is the payback period for the incremental cost. Everything boils down to money once again. So you tell them if you now replace with a smart steam generating boiler, whether it's an LPG fired or electricity fired or whatever, you work out what is the calorific value, what is the steam output you require. But any commercial kitchen is certain yardstick. On a 60% occupancy basis, let's say we're talking about a restaurant, on a 60% occupancy basis, from the present technology, if you are moving into the next level technology, any technology that claims it will give you a 30% saving, we have done enough calculations, enough models to say that your payback period on a 60% occupancy is less than 2 years. We can go into absolute numbers of this stage, but then whatever may be the cost, let us say the incremental cost is 10 lakhs. The 10 lakhs you can recover in less than 2 years, provided you are doing a 60% capacity utilization and invest in a technology that is saving you 30% in energy. In the 30% of saving of energy can be the sum total saving of electricity, gas, water, or it can be on any one of these parameters in whichever combination it is. We've done a successful case study, not only related to a commercial kitchen, but an entire 4-star hotel. We have done an energy audit for them, and we came back with a solution saying that where they needed to invest 2 crores of rupees over a period of 1 year to bring down their electricity consumption by 40%. At 50% occupancy, this hotel is in Chennai. We have implemented that and it's fantastic. And then this happens as a role model, and we can go progressively elsewhere. And people do understand numbers. Even if a client does not understand the intricacies of technology or a technical presentation, you make a mathematical presentation, put a lot of interesting numbers on the screen, they will understand.
That's good. That's good. I think we'll do a field trip to that particular hotel. Okay, so Pramodji, what do you think that equipment manufacturers, how can they contribute?
So main thing they have to, they are the most powerful people, you know. They have to think about how we have to save things. And even the gas equipments, dishwashing machine, like, you know, so that the heat exchange system. So no, actually they have to, specifically they have to mention in the brochures, and when they're marketing it, so they have to tell them that, you know, this what is this and what is this. You know, then the people, the clients and the end user will understand how you are saving the money. And
Do you think the calculation for the right gas bank and the right exhaust system will also help?
Yeah, right gas bank as well as the evaporatorium system, you know. So every time when you take out your cylinders, 25% of the gas is there in the cylinder. It's money. 2,000 bucks for a cylinder, and the big money is that 20 cylinders, your big money is gone. So there's a small investment. So first we have to train the client also. Okay, we have to train the client, we have to train the staff also.
Very true, very true. So are there any case studies that you have gone through, Rajneeshji, all of you can answer, that you think it can be a small project, it can be a large project, any kind of project that you have been in and you have seen, that these smaller changes has helped you, make it more energy efficient or save energy in some form or fashion?
Okay, so that's an interesting question. What happens in India, especially, and this is, I'm talking about around 15 years of designing kitchens now. It's very difficult for a client to understand HLP. heating, lighting and power. It is a point in the P&L statement, and like what sir said, I think audits are the best way of figuring out where they are leaking HLP. Now, unless you don't have the right equipment there, you always face a problem. Now, just to give you an example, we designed one of the largest hostels in Gujarat. This is around 4 years back, and they had different hostels, and they were working on gas-fired equipment. And I had presented to them that they need to have induction-fired kitchens. And for some reason, after a lot of up and down and financials and paperwork, they said yes to it. And we went and started an induction-based kitchen. This is around 4 years back. The day the kitchen opened, I got a lot of negative feedback from them, because obviously the chefs had never used induction-based. They used to fire, they used to getting hot kitchens, and they were not used to such efficiency. I spoke to them, I think, over 2 days. I was there, part of the trials. It's been 4 years. I don't think any of them will be able to go to a gas-fired kitchen now. Again, in terms of costing, it has become much, much lesser than another kitchen.
I think also the Chinese chefs find it very difficult to work on the
Yes.
induction works because they don't find the sound coming out of the equipment, and that's the fear factor that they have, that whether the whole dish is cooked or not. So they said, sir, wo sound nahi aa raha hai. Is that some issue that you came across?
Yes. So there were various issues, and it's all mental, changing into something efficient, like I think what Chef said, and I think we've heard it, is behavioral change. If you don't do behavioral change, and if you're not part, and if you don't handhold the chefs, you cannot go in for a smart kitchen or an induction-based kitchen. And I've learned that from experience. And I'm telling everybody that unless you don't involve the chef in the very beginning, or you don't hold on to the client and explain to them, one sec.
I'll add my personal experience as a chef. I've traveled abroad and done a lot of Indian food festivals, and in cities where we don't even had handi, basic, simple, because that was not the way of cooking for them. So I had to use induction base for my making the gravies. I had to use tilting pans. I used to use soup boilers to make dals and everything, and combi oven to make kebabs. So it is very, very important to understand cooking is not about gas, fire, or the wood. It is all about energy that you get to cook the food. And what sir, about just now that he said about the induction, it's only that people are little afraid of, or the chefs basically, the cooks, because they are not being able to handle the heat temperature of the induction, because the heat goes so fast. You add little oil, by the time you want to put cumin inside, it'll burn. So it takes some time for them to understand, but once they understand this kind of a cooking method, as he rightly said, it's the best and it's the future to do it.
Just to add on to that, out of, let's say, 400 or 500 kitchens we've done in the last 15 odd years, we've only done around 10 induction kitchens. So you could imagine what behavioral change is required.
I think the technology also is now coming in where people are having backups and able to manufacture that. So service,
Yes.
after sales service is also there. Also, one point that I think I would want to add is, sorry. So one of the kitchens where the gas installation person, they had done a little modulation on the pressure on each burner. So it is totally on the behavioral change that has to be trained on the chef, because he doesn't find that sound, he doesn't see that flame hitting out of the outside the vessel, which is actually a loss. And they literally take some time to realize that, and it actually helps in a big way. It actually helps.
I will reflect on two sides, at a micro level as well as at a macro level. We worked in a kitchen. The kitchen was already existing. It was already functioning. We're talking about more than 50,000 meals per batch were being cooked in that kitchen. We wanted a little value engineering. We did hand-holding. Mind you, we did not design the primary kitchen. It was already functioning and we wanted to bring in some kind of an improvement there. We realized there is no dining there. It's only a central kitchen where the food was produced and being taken away there. So we gathered the entire food waste. We talked about peels and vegetable waste and whatsoever and so forth. We reduced it in the macerator to a desired side. Used that as a stock fuel for a biogas generator. We made the client invest money in installing a biogas generator. We used their entire food waste as a feedstock. And the biogas which is generated is not calorifically not enough for direct cooking. So we use that low calorific value heat to heat up the steam generating boilers. So instead of water being heated up from 30 degrees to 100 degrees to generate a steam, this biogas generator has enabled the water to reach a temperature of 45 to 50 degrees. Resultantly, overall fuel consumption has fallen. We have measured it by 22%. That's one case study that we did. The second, at a micro level, we have a small hotel kitchen. We have replaced every pilot lamp and a gas-fired burner with an auto ignition knob. The saving may not be very, very significant, but measurable significant. Even if it is 2%, 3%, there has been a measurable reduction in a gas consumption. So what I'm saying is, for getting energy efficiency, and one more, you install a low flow aerator on every faucet wherever you require, the water consumption falls by 30, 40, 50% and so on and so forth. So these measures which can be done from the smallest level to the maximum level, every step that you take will lead in increasing your energy efficiency.
The main part is that regular maintenance of the equipment. Okay, number one. Second one is proper installation. What are the cold rooms and all properly insulated, and all these things to be looked into here. And a good energy management system. That is the main thing we have to train the end user. So they will be working with some other small hotels and coming to the bigger kitchen. They are not at all aware of what is happening in the new system.
Very good points.
And energy efficiency trainings for all staff. Like we are doing the fire training, all these things we are giving the hotels and the hospitality industry. This energy training has to be implemented.
Nowadays, there are people who are working on technology where they're integrating the equipment that we use to the software, and you get to realize and analyze how the usage pattern of each equipment is. So if you have a refrigeration equipment and the usage is increasing, you know it is time for preventive maintenance before the compressor or some system could collapse. So you are also saving on your particular product line that you are going to work on. Secondly, you start saving energy from day one. So these things are really being worked on. But do you think, this is a question for all of us, that is there a possibility where the kitchen designers, the kitchen equipment manufacturers, and energy consultants are the guys who really work on how things can be, really worked on better, where the energy efficiency is at the peak, can get together and formulate some process where, obviously, other than the software that I was talking about, that the energy efficiency can be at its best. Any insight on that?
I will not take it directly to the energy consultants or energy auditors. If we give a good look within this conference hall, let's not even look beyond the first row. I would rather focus on the first row here. We have people who are working in LPG systems. A simple change from, let us say, from a vapor offtake system into a liquid offtake system will bring you zero wastage of the gas. And further improvisation of a liquid offtake system with enough safeguards to prevent leakage, to prevent wastage, and add some safety parameters, then that will make it not only efficient but also safe. So we have one team here sitting who can give you that kind of a energy efficiency solution. Then we have one more team who's sitting here who work in water efficiency. We have a team, they always say, you measure the kind of water that you use. So go from a high flow faucets into a low flow faucets. You measure what is the water that you require to consume. You measure the water, what is ideal to be consumed. So we have one team sitting here. Then we have one person sitting here who will tell you, if you install a heat recovery system into a conveyor dishwasher, you can reuse that heat into some other application. You can divert that heat instead of allowing it to let go into the kitchen. If you do not have a heat recovery system, that will add to your ventilation load. Then we are talking about the ambient temperature in the kitchen going further up, and then your ventilation load will go up, so that adding further into the electricity consumption. So we are talking about a heat recovery system here. Then we are talking about designer sitting here. Yeah, there is a fantastic kitchen designer, Sadanand Acharya. Please give me a big hand. Sadanand Acharya sitting here, designed some of the celebrity kitchens in the country. We please take his autograph off the line. Some of the celebrity kitchens. And yes, as my friend Rajiv Gandhi and Aditya both have said, designing a kitchen is a very complex job. You make it interesting, keep the end objective that it has to result in more and more money into the pockets of the clients. Then all kinds of motivation you will find into that. We also have another last gentleman who is in the business of manufacturing smart equipment. Whether it is bulk or low volumes or whatever, smart equipment. So what I am trying to say is, we do not need to look beyond. We do not need to find solutions somewhere else. Within this conference hall, we will get at least about 100 ideas on how to make our commercial kitchens more and more energy efficient. So I think some kind of an interaction is required from all of us.
Anybody else who wants to put forward some point?
I think we forgot about this one, nitro lighting and efficient water heating system, like heat pumps.
Yes.
Everywhere you are going with a conventional heater, which use much power. So water wastage and power, we can save it in heat pumps. So that we have to think about.
So I think to sum it all, we have various industry professionals who have been there in various lines who are doing their best to get into a segment where people save on energy, conservation of water, being a sustainable kitchen. The designers work towards, green efficient kitchens too, like getting into induction and stuff like that. So on the whole, there is a lot of work going behind the screen, which probably is not evident. But yes, it was a great session today. Thank you so much. I think a big round of applause to all these professionals who have been, sharing their thoughts all across. And I think it was a wonderful session. I would like to thank all of you who have come in, spend your time here. And yes, people from behind are cheering us. Thank you so much. Any questions that anybody has, you could come up. Yes. The questions can be answered by any panelist.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Arvind from MJ Mag. I do design and build projects in the hospitality space. I had two questions, if I may be allowed to.
We are short of time, so we'll take 3 questions. One is yours.
Oh, okay, fine. Then I'll stick to something close to that. There is a lot of talk today about ceramic plate technology vis-a-vis induction. One is on power, whereas the other is on traditional gas. What would the panelists' opinion be on that?
Yeah, the ceramic pan, you have a ceramic plate which is cast along with the stainless steel. The very function of this ceramic is to see that energy loss is minimized. So the heat does not escape, the heat does not escape into the open atmosphere. So the entire heat which is generated directly transferred into the pan. That's the basic purpose of your ceramic plating.
So would you equate it to induction in terms of efficiency, or how would you
ceramic plate can be fixed even to a bread pan. Ceramic plate can be fixed even to even to a steam generating kettle also. Now, induction basically functions that the heat is directly transferred into the pan without any loss into the open atmosphere, number one. That is the energy. Whereas in ceramic plate, we are talking about a heat. So, both have a complementary function.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question, please? Yeah, we have Vivek Sinha has a question. Crisp, brief question.
Hi, I am Vivek from Winterhalter. I don't have any question. I just want to
Vivek,
add.
they're all cheering for you.
Thank you so much. Actually, adding to the point of the respective consultant, asked for the heat recovery system. Just to add on it, if you opt a heat recovery system on
No,
a
are you
dishwasher.
asking your question?
No, I'm just giving you how the heat recovery
Yeah,
is
can you
saving
make it in 1 minute?
Yeah.
The rest of it will take off.
30 seconds. So the heat recovery, if you opt only one options in the dishwashing segment, the connected load will come down by 30%. And the energy overall will goes to down by 25%. So if you calculate all together, that will go 48 to 50,000 saving in a per month if you opt only for small things. Second thing, we have one called like double skin machine and all. That also saves a lot of energy if you opt a double skin machines. That heat doesn't transfer from the inside to outside. So that's how I'm at the point for it. Thank you so
very much. Fantastic.
Thank
That's
you.
education. That's the greatness of what Ms. Tina Joy has done. Bringing all industry stakeholders together where everybody learns something. Thank you very much.
I think
Last question if you have.
thank you one and all. Thank you for your time. It was a great session that we had. Thank you, the panelists also. Thank you.
That was a very interesting panel discussion. Thank you, Mr. Pandey and the rest of the panelists. Please wait. We want to felicitate you on behalf of World of Hospitality. So may I call upon Datta, Mr. Datta from our team, who has been constantly in touch with Rajesh Chaudhary as well to give a way to make this happen, today's panel happen.
Madam, kindly allow me to intervene
yeah.
before Datta does that. On behalf of Food Service Consultants Association of India, we all extend our grateful thanks to you for making this platform available for us in promoting our core objective of knowledge spreading. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a mutual collaboration. We are all working for the industry, so I think that works. So, Mr. Shravan Kumar, Mr. P. Shravan Kumar. Can we have a round of applause, please? Thank you. These are people behind the scenes who make things happen in hospitality, the huge projects that we see. So it's nice. Mr. Vishwanath Pandey. Mr. Pramod Paleri. Can we have those claps? Thank you. Yeah, we have to make more noise than those people making there. Actually, many of us think, there's so much of noise and there's a panel. But we just thought that it is just a lively, vibrant industry, and that is the future of the hospitality industry, right? All the futures out there. So we didn't want to, tell them, restrict them, let them have their fun and vibrancy. Mr. Jalla, Aditya Singh Jalla. Thank you very much, Ms. Jalla, for being here. Mr. Rajneesh Gandhi. And apart from these people, we have other hospitality consultants who are doing great service in the industry. So we wanted to also felicitate and honor them for the wonderful contribution they are doing. May we have Mr. Marian D'Souza on the desk? He's not come, okay. Anyway, a round of applause for him. He's not here, but for the good work he's doing. Mr. Tarun Tanwar. Mr. Tarun Tanwar, yes, on the stage, please. This way, please, sir. Thank you. Yeah, we can have those claps. Come, there's nice snacks at the back for y'all later, for the energy y'all have expended. Mr. Arvind Gopal. Yes, Mr. Gopal, this way, please. I can hear those claps. Thank you. Mr. Sadanand Acharya. Mr. Acharya, yes, thank you. Sadanand Acharya. All of you, please wait back on stage. We'll have a group photograph. Mr. Chirag Panchal, he is not here. And of course, last but not least, Mr. Rajesh Chaudhary. Can we have him on stage, please? Thank you. Paging for Miss Saloni. So let's have a group photograph, please, sir. Rajesh, hey, there's Rajesh's plaque. Sorry. Yeah, 1 minute. Sorry, Rajesh. अरे front में ले लो. Our group photograph? No, we need it for the magazine. That's why. So please, all of y'all, just hold your plaques in the front. पानी का bottle गिर रहा है यार. पानी का bottle गिर रहा है. Saloni, all good? Thank you for the wonderful work you're doing. And we will also have Mr. Ankit Chaudhary from the Champions Club. He has something to present you all with, a token of appreciation. So just, Mr. Ankit. Yeah. Yeah, you can just start saying about it.
I heard Stina ma'am say a lot about you guys and the contributions you've been giving to the hospitality industry. So from Champions Club, we are into luxury experiences on land, air and water. So private yachts, air charters, luxury vehicles and very kind of experiential activities is what we provide in India, Dubai, Singapore and Bali. So we got small token for you guys to experience and appreciating and thanking for your contribution to the industry.
Yeah. Rajesh Chaudhary. The vouchers and yeah. Once again, thank you, Rajesh and team for the wonderful work that you all do. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah. All right.